Hello, guys. It is me. I'm back. I haven't been here for a while. Um, well, we're going to be talking about the Houston Rockets' future. Now, this little article here. This is not really what I wanted to look at, but it's just something I wanted to put in the background over me talking. Um, but we really are going to be talking about the the future of the Houston Rockets. My bad. My keyboard probably sounds loud. Let me not touch that. But anyway, let's just talk about the Houston Rockets' future. Now, with them losing in the second round to the Los Angeles Lakers in five, it's not a good look. And do I see Russell Westbrook? Um, is he good on this team? I think with the right system, he can be good. He's shown that he's been good. He was good post, the thing that stopped the NBA originally. And in the playoffs, he wasn't that good because if you're the Lakers, the way that you beat the Houston Rockets is you just force them off the 3 point line. Then what are they going to do then? Because only Russ and Eric Gordon and James Harden can really drive or do anything. And even then, it was hard when you have Anthony Davis in the paint. So, this small ball thing, in my opinion, it looked like it could have worked, but it just wasn't executed right, and I don't think it can be executed right. At least not now. Unless you have a 5 man roster full of Steph Currys, it can work. But if there's just a lot of thing that goes into shooting outside of analytics, But we're off that. Besides the point, what can Houston do moving forward? Now, I looked at this little thing down here. Excuse me. You have Miles Turner, Al Horford, Kevin Love, CJ McCollum. Um, Interesting. I don't know what they would trade. I mean, you could trade Eric Gordon, but I don't think the Portland want to do that. And then you have Bradley B. You know what? This is not what we're talking about right now. But anyway, what I want to talk about is a potential trade for, let's say, a Vucevic, Nikola Vucevic, a Miles Turner, or sign an Aaron Baines, like those type of guys. This team needs a center that can space the floor, but isn't necessarily a how should I say this, a small ball center. I think PJ Tucker at power forward and Robert Covington at small forward is with paired with Russell Westbrook and James Harden at the guard positions can fare really well. This team played phenomenal defense in the bubble as a small ball team, and I believe if they get a center that could have switchability, like they could become one of the better defensive teams in the league, and that's a huge thing for this team. If this Houston Rocket team can find it out next year, continue what they did well in the bubble, and fix their offense problems with a new coach, they can legitimately be a threat. These guys were so good on defense. Robert Covington was so good at he could steal the ball whenever he pleased, basically. So out so you have Nikola Vucevic. You would have to trade, maybe Eric Gordon, Daniel House, and a first round pick, maybe two. I don't know about two because I don't think the Houston Rockets want to give up that much, but maybe a first round pick and a second round pick. Now, if I'm the Magic, why would I do this? It's just that the team isn't getting any better with who you have on the roster right now, and I think that not Bam Adebayo, Mo Bamba can use some time to develop at least because you guys haven't seen the full potential of Mo Bamba yet, so might as well unleash the beast. But for the Houston Rockets, he would be a good scoring guy, but I don't believe that's what this team necessarily needs. Because yes, whoever they trade for, they're pretty much gonna lose Eric Gordon, which is gonna be a huge deficit. Maybe in the playoffs, because Eric Gordon always not always, like not every round, but he has played really well in the playoffs for some rounds. Like notably, he played well against the Golden State Warriors. Both years, a year with Chris Paul, or the year that they were the best team in the league, Harden won MVP, and the year that Chris Paul was injured a lot and Harden had to play. They had Kenneth Faried, all that. Now that was Eric Gordon played well. Eric Gordon played well in this playoffs. He just didn't play very well in the regular season. Now, if you trade for him, you hopefully want to get a player back that could, do some of the things that Eric Gordon did, because you're gonna lose that. So things like scoring the ball, spacing the floor. Nikola Vucevic would be phenomenal for that role for this Houston Rocket team. The only thing I have a problem with is that for this team to be great, they need to be good on defense. That's a big thing that this team can pride themselves on, and I believe if they can become a great defensive team, their offense can be figured out later. Because no matter what, this team needs to be a defensive team. Because as we've seen in the bubble, the only problem with this Houston Rocket team was their ability to create offense. And with a three or paint offense, you're predictable. The analytics doesn't matter, because if you're predictable, there's only so much you can do to counter how another team plays against you, coaching wise, all that stuff. It does. So if you have a different offense that mixes it up, Westbrook takes the mid ranges, Harden takes the mid ranges. You let Austin Rivers take mid ranges, because Austin Rivers, he's not the best player, but in LA is an example. On the Clippers, we've seen how he can score. A guy like that, he's not old or anything. He should be, still playing at that type of level. And I believe players like Austin Rivers would thrive in having an offense that is more, how should I say, more traditional, so he can do more of what he used to do. And I think that's an important, thing for this team. You're gonna have guys like Ben McLemore on the team that can shoot the three. He could just be a spot up. You don't have to trade all the three and D players, whatever. Ben McLemore's far from a 3 and D player, but he is a 3 player. You're gonna have guys like, probably you're gonna sign Gerald Green back, because he's coming back from having that injury. They traded him to the Nuggets, and the Nuggets waived him in that trade for Covington, the 4-team trade, whatever. And I think that getting Miles Turner is the best possible option for this Houston Rocket team. Miles Turner is a great shot blocker. So he's great on the defensive end, and on the offensive end, he can shoot the three. He can do, big man things. And I think with Russ and Harden, throwing the oops are going to be very beneficial for them. And on top of that, I think that another thing that should be said is Aaron Baines. A lot of teams are going to want Aaron Baines, but if the Houston Rockets can somehow snag Aaron Baines, get Miles Turner, retain Jeff Green, and get Gerald Green, this team can legitimately do well, because you're going to lose Eric Gordon, so you're going to have to bring in Gerald Green, who hopefully can score the ball like he did. He's not he's an average ball handler, but hopefully, Austin Rivers can take a bigger role with a new coach, where he can do what he needs to do, because Austin Rivers, I believe, has a lot more potential, but couldn't show that because of being on this Houston team with the set system. And I think that with having Austin Rivers, Ben McLemore, Gerald Green, Jeff Green, and Aaron Baines as a bench, that doesn't sound awful. Then you're still gonna have David Nwaba, who they signed. I'm still confused on why they signed him so early, but it's whatever. You're gonna have Nwaba. You might play the 5'11" guy. My bad. I don't mean any disrespect. I just forgot his name. He's a bucket. You might play him more. And it's just things like that I can see where this team would go. Like, imagine you have a starting lineup of Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Robert Covington, PJ Tucker, and shoot, my bad. I forgot. Genuinely forgot. No. I don't know. No, I don't want this. Just scroll down. Yeah, Miles Turner. So you're gonna have two of the best defenders in the league. I do believe that PJ Tucker and Robert Covington are two of the best defenders in the league. They can shoot the three, that are gonna do a lot of pick and fades and whatever with Russ and Harden. Now here's the thing. Since it's not gonna be isolations, I hope that Robert Covington can score a little bit more. I know that that's not his job necessarily, but this is a whole different team, so I hope he scores more. I hope PJ Tucker, besides the three, I hope that he develops a little floater or something, and then you're gonna have the big guy in the middle that you can throw oops to. I think that starting lineup will be very good, and if you're struggling on offense, it can be interchangeable. You can probably maybe take out Russ, put in Austin Rivers, or take out Robert Covington, or take out PJ Tucker, move Covington to the 4. put Gerald Green in, put Ben McLemore in. It's just that the team will have a lot more flexibility, and I think that's a good thing to do. I also believe that Kevin Love on this team would be something they would also very much appreciate. The only problem with a guy like Kevin Love or Nikola Vucevic, like I was trying to state earlier, is that for the value, you'd as this Rocket team, you'd rather get a guy in the paint that can play defense. My bad if I'm a little I need to back up from the mic a little bit. You'd rather have a guy that can play defense and have offensive abilities than just a guy that can play offense, because I believe, like I said wholeheartedly, this team will be great if they can play phenomenal defense. And I think that's pretty much this video, but I'm going to say a little bit more on this topic. Also, for their coach, I think someone like a Sam Cassell would be interesting. I don't think a guy like Ty Lue would be very smart, simply because we don't even know if he's a good coach on his own without LeBron James, but that's a story for another day. The Houston Rockets have 3 years. After 3 years, if they don't win anything, and if Westbrook and Harden are even on the roster anymore, it's done. You can't beat a dead horse more than it's already been beat, you know what I mean? And I think that this is it. So they're going to have to go all in. They went all in for Westbrook. They're going to have to go all in again, and, they're just going to have to do it. It's unfortunate that they've had to get to this point. I'm a Thunder fan, so I wish the best for Westbrook. But that Chris Paul hamstring was all that was in the way. But yeah, pretty much that's the video. If there's any more requests to talk about, I'd be very interested to talk about anything, like maybe like a Simmons to the Timberwolves, how that would work out, that would be good for both teams. I don't know if it's good for both teams. I haven't really thought about that, but I'm just throwing out topics out there. But anyway, yeah, this is pretty much the video. These videos, I want to just be something where I can just talk to you guys. You could do me doing homework, just sitting or something, just listening to them. Maybe later on I'll find a way to edit, maybe use my voice and then, put sound behind it, and have a clips of something, something like that. But outside of that, I think this is the video, guys. I know there's not a lot of you guys watching, and I love talking about basketball. I've been watching football for around 4 years, but I'm not in depth, not 4, maybe more, but I've been a Seahawks fan more than I've been a person who watches football. I've always associated myself with the Seahawks, even though I didn't watch football too much. When they won, I was I'm a Seahawks fan, but it's been more recently that I've been more and more into that. But yeah, I know a lot of you guys don't really watch these videos. Maybe 4 if you guys are gonna watch this, just thank you guys. Please subscribe, please like. That'd mean a lot to me. This is a little hobby I want to do, but I also want people to, to hear what I'm trying to say, because, having these type of conversations with people or having these videos and then you guys comment, it help educate me in basketball as well. And, building a community is my ultimate goal, just having you guys there. And, my dream, I think, is maybe by 2021 around this time, maybe having 500 to 1,000 subscribers to just talk to, mano y mano, get to that point where I'm comfortable talking to you guys. You guys love me, and there's, a community, and I think that's ultimately what I wish for the most, is a community. And I just appreciate you guys. If there's one person who watches this, if there's 1,000, I just appreciate everything. And I'm sorry that the content is it's just me with OBS open on another monitor with this little webpage up. I'll figure out a way, but if this is okay with you guys, let me know if there's something I should probably do in the background instead. That'd be a little better. I'm not very good at editing, but I know how to cut and pretty much cut stuff and put it together. But yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you, and have a good night, and I hope the best for you, and stay safe, stay blessed. Farewell.